Greetings, video students. The next video that we are going to create, it's going to be today or within 24 hours from now, because remember, success loves speed, fast implementation. When you learn something that you think is going to help you, implement fast, not just this stuff, but just about anything. So, speaking of that, this is going to be, you're going to teach. You're going to make a video where you're going to teach something. And that might sound a little bit intimidating right off the bat, but let me make it not intimidating for you. All you have to do, it could be as simple as picking a topic that, well, first of all, think of the kind of person that you want to work with. What are the problems that they are having? Are they in debt? Are they, I don't know, single mothers that are looking for a way to make some extra money while at home because they can't leave the home because they got the kids there? I don't know. Just think of the people you want to work with and what their problems are. And then do some research. Just go to google.com and start typing in some keywords, bring up some blogs about how single women at home raising kids are making money, or how busy dads are able to spend more time with their kids, maybe more time with the family instead of pictures at an office cubicle, but they're able to spend time with the real thing instead of a picture in an office cubicle. I don't know. It's going to be that, that kind of thing. And just look up a couple blogs about that. You can find them easy on Google with just a few keyword searches. And just reading one or two blogs, even just one good blog, you're going to learn some stuff in there. And then you're in a position to teach it. And it could just be one or two bullet points that you learned from that blog. It could be a blog that has, like 36 ways of doing this, and you could teach 2 of them. And maybe the rest of them you can do a dozen other videos on. But you're just going to do, ideally, I want this video to be somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes. So learn about something that would be relevant to the kind of people you want to work with, the kind of people you want to enroll, and what their problems are, what they're trying to solve, what their ambitions are. Learn about that topic just a little bit, just 1 or 2 bullet points, and teach. Just teach it. Follow the format of introducing yourself, and then after you introduce yourself, you're going to give value. You're going to teach, in this instance, is giving value. And then you're going to do a call to action at the end. So do that. Don't pitch your business in this video. Just teach, and then your call to action is going to be to subscribe to your list, to email you so they can be added to your list, to subscribe to your YouTube channel, visit your website, whatever it is, something. And that's it. Go ahead and do it. I'm going to actually, I've already made the video. See, I'm doing this with you guys still. And it wasn't a first take video, sadly. Most of the time it's first take, but, what can you do? It's better than 100 takes when I first started. It was a second take video, and I just did it just like 2 seconds ago. I'm just going to stitch it to the end of this video so that you can actually see it. And later today or this week, more likely, I'm going to upload it to my YouTube, and I'm going to share it on my social media. I learned something really cool at a seminar I went to. I was just looking at my notes, and I decided, hey, I should teach that. And I didn't time it. It feels like it was between 2 and 3 minutes, but that's what I want you guys to do. And gosh, I gave you one example of a way to learn about something that you could teach. Pretty simple. That's probably one of the easiest ways. Another easy way is to just attend a seminar or a webinar. It could be online, it can be something you go to offline, and take notes, because those notes are going to be like uncashed paychecks. You can go to one 90-minute webinar, so to speak, and take several pages of notes, and you can have a potential 20 possible videos where you teach something just out of that one 90-minute seminar. You go to a weekend-long seminar, you could take 30 or 40 pages of notes, and you can have 10 years worth of inspiration for teaching ideas. And in addition to everything else that you get from that webinar, if you start consciously thinking about that. You can find anything at the library or Google. There's so many things. You just get a bullet point. You don't teach the whole book or the whole webinar, just a small little teaser of it, just enough to get somebody curious and interested to follow you and to want to know more. So you make them really hungry. You salt their food, and then you take them to water so that they want to, drink the water because you just salted their food, and now they're thirsty. So you want to just give them enough to be a teaser and just be so freaking curious that they have to obey your call to action, and they do it. So short snippets of info you got to teach, and a lot of your videos from here on out I want you to teach something in them, something valuable to the kind of people that you want to enroll. Teach them something valuable. And also, when you're teaching, or when you're thinking of what, the content that you're going to teach about, it could be something that you do. Maybe you didn't learn it anywhere, that you didn't read it or learn it from somebody else, but maybe it's something you did and you learned something on your own. Teach it. That's another way. It's endless. The possibilities are endless, man. So start teaching, and I want to see, for some of you, it's going to be your first video where you're teaching something, and I want to see it within 24 hours. I'd love to see that, and I think the right people for your business are going to love seeing it too. So have at it, fast implementation. Hey everyone, this is Tom Birkenmeyer. Has anyone ever told you to find whatever it is that makes you really happy and then to build a life around it? And how does that typically work out? This is just my opinion, but stay with me for a minute and see if this doesn't at least nudge your opinion a little bit further ahead, even if it's not the same as mine. But I think you might find that it excites you and could lead you to a pretty major breakthrough in your life. So that would be worth sticking around for, even a chance at that. Just hear me out for a couple of minutes. So check this out. Instead of doing what mainstream thinking tells us to do, and it sounds really good, but it's instead of finding what makes you happy and building a life around that, find what your purpose is and build a life around that instead. And here's why I say that. I can already see the light bulbs going off. So when you find what makes you happy, that's great. But to build a life around it, that could actually sacrifice your purpose and why you're here and seriously keep you from reaching your potential, whatever that is. If you find your purpose first and build a life around that, then that means you're going to be willing to do things that you necessarily don't want to do, but it's around your purpose, and therefore you're going to be excited about that anyway, even the things that you don't want to do. And people that only want to engage in activities that only makes them happy because they're building a life around what makes them happy, there's nothing wrong with knowing what makes you happy, but to build a life around it means that, by definition, you're willing to sacrifice doing what's right and following your own truth and bringing out your own authenticity, because you're only going to do what makes you happy, and which is really self-serving. It satisfies the ego and helps protect it from getting hurt, which doesn't do anything to serve anybody else outside of yourself. So it's actually kind of selfish to live that way, but to have a purpose, to know what it is, and then to build your life around that. And speaking of happiness, I think that's going to make you so much happier, and to know that you're willing to do things that you necessarily don't maybe want to do, but if it's around your purpose, you're going to do it, and you're going to feel pretty good. And then think of the greatest leaders ever that existed in the world. A lot of them, Jesus Christ, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, all of them did things that they did not want to do. They went through persecution. They went through jail. They went through all kinds of things. They didn't want to do that, but they had a purpose. They built their life around it. And I'm not saying you got to go to jail or be persecuted or drag a cross around up a hill with crowns around your head. You don't have to do any of those. You decide. You decide if that's what your purpose is. But I'm telling you, I think you got the point by now. I think I made my case. So if you're still sticking around listening to me talk about it, I think this is a pretty cool message that needs to be spread around the world. And this whole mainstream thinking, man, it seriously needs to be diminished about doing only what makes you happy and building a life around that. And it doesn't serve anybody. And in the end, you're not going to be nearly as happy as you could have been if you built your life around a really awesome purpose. So do that and talk about that. Spread that message and see if it makes sense for other people. And maybe they might talk about it too, and before you know it, it's a message that is just spreading just by word of mouth instead of big fancy advertising budgets. It's worthwhile. Take care, everyone. If you liked this message, go to my website, tombirkenmeyer.com. Subscribe to my YouTube. I make a lot of videos like this. So if you like this, odds are you're going to like a lot of other videos that I make and blogs that I share. And I've also got on my website, tombirkenmeyer.com, you'll see it when you get there, a list of 31 ways of raising money now without having any money. It's totally free. 31 ways. Find just one or two, which I'm sure you can out of 31. Or maybe you know somebody else who could use that list. And, if it helps somebody get out of debt or put food on the table to feed their family or whatever that's needed, that's a good thing. Take care, everyone. I will see you later when I do my next video or vlog or blog or whatever I'm going to create next, which is coming real soon. Bye.